Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel where hip-hop history lives and legends collide. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Now let's get back into the battle for rap supremacy. In 2021, Drake dropped Certified Lover Boy. We're focusing on the track No Friends in the Industry. At this point, Drake's been dealing with major conflicts with Kanye West and Pusha T, and he makes it clear he's unbothered by an industry trying to undermine him. He raps, "Niggas love to start the beef, don't want to keep it rap. Yeah, you hit us up and now we owe you something back." Fast forward to Kendrick Lamar's next studio album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. On the track, Father Time, Kendrick actually mentions Drake by name. When Kanye got back with Drake, I was slightly confused. Guess I'm not mature as I think, got some healing to do. Now you can argue there were other shots on tracks like Rich Spirit, Sticky, America Has a Problem, Remix, The Hillbillies, and Meltdown, but we're sticking to the heavy hitters. Enter First Person Shooter. This was the boiling point. Rumor has it Drake originally sent the track to Kendrick to hop on, but Kendrick turned the feature down. That's why Kendrick later spits lines like, "Surprised you sent that feature request. You know we got some shit to address." And, "Did Cole foul? I don't know why you still pretending." The idea here is that Drake might have been trying to squash the beef with a feature, but Kendrick wasn't having it. So Drake goes off in the second half of the song, rapping, "My youngins richer than you rappers and they all stream." Drake starts by saying he hates that people have been sold false dreams. He adds, "Man, if your publishing was up for sale, I'd buy the whole thing." Then he asks if he'll ever get his flowers, and immediately answers himself, of course not. They don't want to have that conversation because it hits a sore spot. They know who he is, the boy, the one they keep trying to boycott. He even tells Jimmy Jam that he uses a Grammy as a doorstop. Drake also compares himself to Michael Jackson and claims he'll eventually beat his records, a line Kendrick directly responds to in Like That. At the end of the track, Drake adds, "Don't even pay me back on none of them favors. I don't need it." Now we move into Red Button from Scary Hours 3. Here, Drake sends a clear warning. If he ever decides to press his red button, certain people's careers would be finished. "I could tell you better than I show you. This a demonstration." Around this time, Drake kept referencing the red button, talking about it in interviews, and even posting images of red buttons leading up to March 22nd, 2024. Kendrick opens hostilities with a featured verse on Future and Metro Boomin's Like That, dismissing Drake's place among hip-hop's elite. The Big Three is just Big Me. Just weeks later, Drake struck back. In April 2024, he released a diss track titled Push-Ups, mocking Kendrick's height, his status, and even referencing his personal relationships. Then came Tailor-Made Freestyle, a controversial track that used AI-generated voices impersonating legends to shame Kendrick. That move sparked outrage, including legal backlash, and Drake ultimately pulled the song. But Kendrick wasn't done. On April 30th, 2024, he dropped Euphoria, a withering 6-minute diss calling Drake a master manipulator and habitual liar, criticizing his parenting, his identity, and belittling his rise. Then, just days later, on May 3rd, he followed with 616 in LA, a second hit, attacking Drake's camp and threatening to expose secrets. The volley continued. After Drake responded with a diss of his own, Kendrick unleashed Meet the Grams, a dark piano-backed track with serious allegations, followed shortly by what would become the coup de grace, Not Like Us, released May 4th, 2024. Not Like Us was different. It didn't just diss Drake, it painted him as a colonizer, accused him of sexual misdeeds, and challenged the authenticity of his identity and career. The song struck so hard, it ignited debate across the industry. As the dust settled, the numbers spoke for themselves. The diss track war drew massive streaming numbers. According to polls, a plurality of hip-hop fans sided with Kendrick. 33% said he won, compared to 21% for Drake. Critics and fans alike pointed to Kendrick's razor-sharp focus, lyrical aggression, and relentless release cadence as evidence he had asserted dominance. More than just lyrics, this feud touched on deep themes: authenticity versus commercialism, cultural roots versus mainstream infiltration, and raw truth versus polished persona. Kendrick positioned himself as the realness guard of hip-hop, while painting Drake as a diluted version, someone who borrowed credibility rather than earned it. And in the end, with Not Like Us, with public opinion, with streaming numbers, and with influence over the culture, many believe Kendrick Lamar emerged as the winner. The 2024 rap battle didn't just settle bars, it shook up the hip-hop order. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. I'll leave a link in the description.